What's going on, guys? Messi here and welcome to a brand new video. Welcome to your daily dose of transfer gossip. And today is going to be Tuesday the 11th of June. Got confirmed news to go through as well as the rumours. So just before we get started, if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yesterday's episode will be down below in the description box, and current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time is a new transfer episode. And finally, in the comment section below, who do you think is going to win the Ballon d'Or this year? Right, let's get started with the confirmed deals today, and the first one is going to be Rafinha. He's returned to Brazil and joined Flamengo from Bayern Munich. It's a free transfer and he signed a 2-year contract. Saravia has joined FC Porto from Racing Club in Argentina, and that's a €5.5 million fee. France Football are saying AS Monaco will not attempt to sign Georges Kevin N'Koudou permanently from Tottenham after a failed loan spell. And I even read somewhere a couple days ago that the apparent permanent transfer of Joao Martins to Monaco from Atletico Madrid, that's even looking pretty unlikely now, because the owner of Monaco, about a month or so ago now, maybe even a bit less than that, he said that he'd be joining on a permanent basis, but now, again, Joao Martins said he might not go back to Monaco and could go elsewhere. And next up, according to Goal.com, they're saying Eintracht Frankfurt, Hertha Berlin and Werder Bremen have all approached Liverpool for the availability of Marco Grujic, and he's been valued at £25 million. There seems to be interest there alongside the Bundesliga sides from Atletico Madrid if they sell Rodri, and a fee of 25 mil. I think he could have some kind of future at Liverpool if you judge what he done last season at Hertha Berlin, but we'll have to wait and see. 25 mil is a lot of money and it could fund other transfers. And now moving on, according to Sky Sports, they're saying Tottenham Hotspur are considering making a bid for Marseille fullback Hiroki Sakai. The Japanese international apparently fits the profile that Spurs are looking for, with manager Mauricio Pochettino willing to sell both Kieran Trippier and Serge Aurier this summer. Trippier has been linked to the likes of Juventus, Atletico Madrid and Napoli, and Serge Aurier has been linked to AS Monaco. And now moving on again, according to Sky Sports, they're saying West Ham are in talks to sign Marseille midfielder Morgan Sanson. Marseille are willing to listen to offers for players after they failed to qualify for the Champions League and Europa League. They value Sanson at €35 million, and Newcastle and Wolves have also been offered the chance to sign him. And I mentioned yesterday's upload that Gustavo could be going to Lyon because of the whole financial situation at Marseille, and they could be looking to sell Tovan. And now moving on, according to the Yorkshire Evening Post, they're saying Ryan Kent is one of Bielsa's key targets in an effort to strengthen the wide positions at Leeds. The Liverpool winger spent the 18-19 season on loan at Rangers and won the PFA Scotland Young Player of the Year award. The Glasgow club currently have the upper hand in negotiations, but Leeds are hoping that Harry Wilson's impressive season in the Championship for Derby will help convince Liverpool to loan Kent back to the division. This is a complete assumption, but I'm going to imagine Liverpool want to sell him on a permanent basis, because realistically I can't see him having too much of a future in our side. And next up, according to actually the man himself, De Ligt, he said he's in no rush to decide where he'll be playing his club football next season, and he expects to reveal his next destination and his choice after a summer holiday. A lot of people, including myself, thought he'd be announcing it today or this week at least, but it seems not the case, and for him, probably a couple weeks off, then we'll know where he'll be playing next season. And he also revealed that after full time yesterday, or on Sunday should I say, in the UEFA Nations League final against Portugal, Ronaldo asked him if he was joining Juventus. Marcelo will be allowed to decide whether he wants to stay at Real Madrid should the club sign Ferland Mendy, that's according to Marca. Mendy seems likely to join Madrid this week, where he'll be expected to take Marcelo's role in the first team eventually. The club will let Marcelo decide whether he wants to remain and fight for minutes at the club, or find a starting role, or potentially leave the club and go elsewhere. And last summer he was linked to move to Juventus alongside Ronaldo, so we'll have to see if them rumours pick up again. And another player potentially going for Madrid today, according to AS, they're saying Zidane would prefer a loan for Real Madrid teenage sensation Vinicius Jr, while Florentino Perez opposes such a move because he feels that he could add a lot to their team. There have been multiple loan offers for Vinicius, but Perez has already vetoed them despite Zidane having doubts over his usefulness to the squad. That has left concerns in the players' camp as they worry, based on the end of last season, that Zidane will offer Vinicius limited playing time. And if you remember a few weeks back, and even back in January, R9 Ronaldo, his team at Real Valladolid were looking for a loan spell. It does come as a bit of a surprise because I thought their front three would be Vinicius, Hazard and also Jovic. But we're not too sure right now because yes, Hazard does play in the same position. I'm not sure if Vinicius can play on the right hand side or not, but that could limit his playing time. With Hazard coming in, he becomes his understudy. But last season, when he was playing, he's pretty good. Salomon Rondon could be on his way to Turkey if reports from Aksam are to be believed. The Turkish outlet claims there is a great possibility the Venezuelan striker will join Fenerbahce this summer. Rondon spent the 2018-19 campaign on loan at Newcastle United, but given the financial restraints, he may not return to the Magpies next season. Wolves are also interested alongside Newcastle in bringing him in on a permanent basis, but Fenerbahce, they seem to be the favourites. And I read something quite interesting a few minutes ago about Newcastle United, that apparently for this summer transfer window, Rafa Benitez's transfer budget, it really isn't much. Now I know the takeover hasn't gone through yet, so that might change completely when it does go through or if it does go through, but as of right now, Newcastle yet again, they're working on low funds. Gazzetta dello Sport are saying Juventus are prepared to sacrifice the £8 million Chelsea owe the club for Gonzalo Higuain in order to clinch the services of Maurizio Sarri. There was apparently a standstill because of the compensation package Chelsea would receive, and Juventus could be prepared to sacrifice that money for Higuain to get the deal done. And despite Chelsea apparently having a transfer ban, they are considering sending Higuain back to Juventus anyway, which for Sarri might not be a bad thing because obviously he's one that brought him to Chelsea in the first place and they worked together very well at Napoli. After struggling to secure the signing of Chucky Lozano, Italian giants Napoli are reportedly targeting Atlanta United attacker Ezequiel Barco as an alternative. Barco has an Italian passport, so he wouldn't count against a foreign quota, making him very valuable to the Italian side. The article doesn't mention any kind of fee just yet, but Atlanta paid like $10 million or $12 million last year and would probably look to make a fair amount of profit on him. AS are saying Real Madrid have set an asking price of £45 million or 50 million euros for Mateo Kovacic. Chelsea are not willing to match that figure, but Inter Milan are interested in the Croatian midfielder. He initially left Inter to go to Real Madrid a few years back, and it hasn't really worked out as he probably was hoping to be, as he probably saw himself as a long-term replacement for Luka Modric. And the Sunday Express are saying AC Milan are willing to let Frank Kessie, or Kessier, I'm still not sure how you say his name, and they're willing to let him leave for around £30 million this summer. And Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea and West Ham are all monitoring the situation. Atletico Madrid have shown serious interest in Milan winger Suso, that's according to Milan News. According to the report, the Spanish club have already met with his representatives twice and could look to activate his €40 million release clause. The potential deal could progress and take shape in the coming days. And that would be a lot of profit on the player from AC Milan because they got him on a free deal initially from Liverpool a few years back, and he's had a pretty good season to be fair to him. And for 40 mil, Atletico Madrid, I keep saying it every episode, but they'll be very busy this summer because they've got so many outgoings. And next up, according to Sky Sports, they're saying following up on what was reported a few days ago about United's interest in Wan-Bissaka, Palace have rejected the initial £40 million bid from United, and Palace now want at least £60 million. Other right-back options United are looking at are Thomas Meunier from Paris Saint-Germain and Kieran Trippier of Spurs. And despite Trippier having a decent World Cup last summer in 2018, I personally rate him too much, and for United, I can't see it being too much for an upgrade of what they've got. Benfica have conceded that Joao Felix looks set to leave the club this summer amid strong interest in the midfielder from Manchester United, Juventus and many other top European sides. At first it looked like he could be going for €60 million around that mark, but as of late a lot of places are suggesting 105 mil, which is his full release clause. Yahoo Sport France are reporting that PSG have entered into contact with Portuguese international right-sided player Ricardo Pereira of Leicester City. They want a potential summer transfer, and honestly it's very interesting to me because he impressed me a lot last year for Leicester. And aside from the fact he's already had a fair amount of Ligue 1 experience with Nice before, where he was very good, and they're obviously preparing for the departure or potential departure of Thomas Meunier. Sport are saying that Atletico Madrid want to sign Edinson Cavani to replace the outgoing Antoine Griezmann. The Uruguayan is open to a switch to Madrid, and bear in mind just yesterday, Sport did say that Antoine Griezmann could be going to PSG instead of Barca, so they might be able to work out some kind of deal. But there are also rumours saying Diego Costa could be going to the CSL, so we'll have to wait and see how that progresses, and Atletico could be in for 2 strikers this summer. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do that good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yesterday's episode will be down below in the description box, and current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time is a new transfer episode. And finally, in the comment section below, who do you think is going to win the Ballon d'Or this year? So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.